Claude McKay was a Jamaican-American writer who served a key part in the Harlem Renaissance. McKay was born in Jamaica, into a family that owned enough land to vote. He was lucky enough to start basic schooling at the age of 4 at his local church. Soon his family decided that they were not giving him the best life possible, so they sent him to live with his brother, who was a teacher. McKay thought differently about the world, which inspired him to start writing poetry at the age of 10. Later down the track, in 1906, he was working as an apprentice cabinet maker, slowly letting go of his dream of becoming a writer. At his job, he met Walter Jekyll, who convinced him to pursue his dreams of becoming a writer. This changed McKay's view on life once again, so he decided to move to Charlestown, South Carolina. There he was shocked by the military existence and extreme segregation. These drastic differences in life from his home inspired him to write more poetry, but it was all too much. So he ended up moving from Charlestown to Kansas, which then stirred his political views, as McKay had always been a communist. This forced him to move to New York, where he married Eulalie Lewis, a childhood sweetheart. This led him to The Liberator, a socialist magazine that strengthened his political views and forced some of his best poems out of him. Then, along with other black intellectuals, started the African Blood Brotherhood, a semi-secret revolutionary organization. Later, McKay moved to London, where he wrote a response to an incredibly racist magazine article. Turned down by many newspapers, he turned to the Workers' Dreadnought, another socialist magazine, which then published his response. From this magazine, he became a paid journalist and attended many conferences, which included the Communist Unity Conference, where the Communist Party of Great Britain was born. His communist beliefs led him to the Soviet Union, where he was asked to help with the reconstruction of the country after Lenin had finished with it. During his time in the Soviet Union, he wrote about various essays and responses, including the Soviet Union and the Negro, Negroes in America, and lynching in America. Further on, in 1928, he published his most famous book, Home to Harlem, about street life in Harlem. This had a major effect on the Harlem Renaissance and many black intellectuals in the USA, West Africa, Europe, and the Caribbean. Overall, McKay's life was very different, unique, and shaped by the views of the world. However, he shaped the world back with his intellectual and different views of the world.